Okay. I just wanted to make sure that the camera was okay because I had to angle it differently and I gotta adjust my lighting because I don't have the proper I do have the proper tools. I just for my lighting it's somewhere else right now. Um I'm trying to figure out okay. So they're forcing us to stay in the house and I mean, it's not really forcing, but they're telling us, whatever we want to do, try to do it inside of our house. So I'm like, okay, people still have bills, and some people were warned ahead of time about the pandemic, and that, some companies fired their employers. I said employees and employers in the same type of word in a way. Okay, that was weird. I need to slow down. I will slow down. Um, some companies, some businesses, some organizations gave their employers a heads up. They warned them ahead of time, and some of them canceled work before other jobs, did. Unfortunately, um, so it's like a process going over and over and over, and um, nobody really knows when it's going to end. They can speculate and have different type of guesses, but that's pretty much it. Um, yeah. But what I wanted to talk about, what I wanted to say was, hold on. What I wanted to say was, um, they're forcing us to stay in the house, and some companies, if you worked any place, um, if you worked somewhere before this happened and it cost you your job, and if it didn't, it didn't. But if it didn't cost you your job, or if it okay, well, no, if it did cost you your job, and you file for unemployment, you have ways of paying your rent, because you get the max benefit, and that's like you get the max benefit, and that is like the max benefit. So you're gonna get enough to pay your rent from the first check that you get from unemployment. Okay, especially if you've been working a lot of places and you have gathered up enough money inside of your social security in order for you to drop up out of there for your unemployment. It's separate, but it's all like in the same type of chain, like chain line, whatever you want to call it, or something like that. Um, what else are you ready to say? Um, but no, yeah, they're forcing us to stay in, and it's like, okay, we can do nothing but go get some stuff so we can stack it up in that house and eat, so we won't have to keep going in and out because, I mean, we can go in and out, but it's not going to be, um, it don't need to be, it needs to be some place that it's a need and not a place that we just want to go just lollygag in because they're not putting up with people going in large groups or going to the store to do one thing, to do something simple that one person can get, and you bring the whole family. They're not doing that. They want you in of the stores and they want you out of the stores. So we all have to stay in the house, and it's like, how are we supposed to, like, how are we supposed to, not do nothing on the outside, but stay inside of the house every single day, and that's all we do. We do nothing else. Like, how do you think that? How do you feel about that whole scenario type thing? Um, okay, let me just say this. I don't necessarily agree um with the order that they're giving out, because like I said once before, we all have to have some type of discipline in our life. We all need to know when to not go out there and party or hang with a group of people or hang or be in other people's faces. We should all have enough experience now in our life that we want time to spend for ourselves. You know, if you're not in the industry or and you're not out there having to deal with people, or you're not, going to work every single day, and you spend more time outside to make a living because you can't do it inside, then that's understandable. What I'm trying to say is, like, they're telling us to stay inside, so what can we do other than, I got to charge my phone up. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I don't want to die on me. Get in here. Okay. Um, what was I saying? Okay, so they want us to stay inside, and we need to find, you know, things that we are good at doing. Like, that is now the time to start figuring out what you're good at. How can you stay at home and still feed your family, and not go outside all the time? Well, unfortunately, some of you all are, quote unquote, taking a very big risk because you're going out there to work anyway when they're telling you you have the option to stay at home and just file unemployment and make the same amount, almost the same amount, very close, very, very close, because they're offering the max benefits for the unemployment. So you're going to get paid like you worked a 40-hour shift plus more. You see what I'm saying? Um, I mean, and then some of you all, so they're telling you you can stay in if you want to stay in. You're gonna. Then some of you all, are going to go out there, go to work, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you feel comfortable working out there, then you go right on ahead. Um, to me, that's okay. Unless it's like healthcare or anything like that, then I can see, like, okay, healthcare, public safety. If you're working in that type of field, it's understandable. Um, a job is a job. I Because some people are, prefer working alone, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then some people prefer working with other people. I mean, even if you work alone, you're still gonna be working with other people online or at some point, but you won't have to deal with as much. And I think it's best for people to just like go on the internet and find something, a gig or anything to join, and start making money from the computer, because you will be more safer inside taking care of your health and your own sleep pattern by yourself versus you having to go out there and put yourself at risk for things you don't want to be around. That's the reason why I work from home. Um, Even if I didn't have a home, I would work from home. I would not change it for the world. I can sit in my car. I can drive around. I can park places. If I don't have internet, I can get on Wi-Fi, and boom, it'll be secluded. My windows will be tinted. I'll park just like as a regular car being parked, and you don't really be knowing who be sleeping in their car, and that's what I be talking about. Um, but right now I'm not sleeping in my car, so um, but it's a good backup. It is a good backup to have. Um, okay. Thing. So they're forcing us to stay inside the house, and we have about 30 days of this. And they make fun of it on Twitter and all social media and everywhere. They talk about quarantine. They talk about self distancing. They tell you about wearing your mask. Don't go outside if you don't have to. Try to do everything. So now, okay, the world has made it to where you can literally do everything online. And unfortunately, because there have been a great amount of people trying to get services at one time, certain systems shut down, and that is unacceptable. Pretty much. That's unacceptable, and they know it. Um, I tried to file unemployment, and now I have to wait because they decided to have a shutdown and a malfunctioning system. Hello, a malfunctioning system, and it should have never had frozen like that. Nobody knows, I guess, what they're going to be up against and how many people will be calling, but they say that they were receiving roughly about 1,000 phone calls an hour, and me and other people, if it was even possible. I felt like it was only just me, but no, it's other people, and I can see there being some sort of glitch in the system whenever you're trying to call the unemployment office, and it's 1,000 calls per hour, and you only have less than 100 workers over the phone answering, less than 50. It had to be, because there's no way you have not developed a system to get a globally, or should I say, a nationally um, formatted system within a database that can assist these phone calls or do a live chat. I was willing to do a live chat also, but unfortunately, they did not have that on the unemployment website. So I just ended up dogging it out. I sat there and I waited and I waited, and tomorrow is Monday, so we should be seeing. I should see some improvement, but they say Mondays and Tuesdays experience the highest call volumes, and I do not want to deal with none of that. Like, I really cannot stand that. But they're planning on saying, telling us 30 days about this thing that's supposed to be happening. It's continuing to happen. But I'm also hearing that um, the numbers have gone down, and sooner or later we're going to be going out there and starting um, our going back to our natural days of going to work and stuff like that. Um, So yeah, they're forcing us to stay in. They're not forcing us, but they are in a way. So you can barely do anything really now. All your fast food dining halls are closed. Um, they're limiting each worker at each place, except the hospital, of course, um, and other major places. But it's almost like I can see it being like a world order or a new way to try to get people to act right because we've been out of control. I'm hearing it's something just to set us straight. Then I'm also hearing that it's something that the system has designed that they've messed up on, and now we're going through something that they cannot handle. So I'm not sure um, what that is all about. Um, where's my orange? I had an orange. Oh, I ate it. Dang it, I ate it. I ate my crackers too. Um, but anyway, see that's the thing. Like you run out of food, and then eventually you have to go out there and get some more. But you want to stay in as much as you can. And to me, that's the issue in a way. Um, because some people don't even have um, it's almost like they have the opportunity to go out there and think smart and stack up their whole entire kitchen up with food to survive because they're calling for about 30 more days of this, and they're trying to tell you to stay in as much as you can, and it's gotten to the point to where they've issued out a curfew, and some people don't even have cars. So yeah, so it's almost how can you like some people are just gonna have to kind of wake up and see what's going on, because I know for people who have been inside of their house every day for the past week or two, and they're like about to drive themselves crazy. What do you think is worth doing, going back and forth, or and take your risk, or would it be having someone else just bring food to your house or whatever it is? Because clothing stores aren't even open. They shut off. The only clothing store you can go to is Walmart. I don't know any other clothing store that's out there and actually available. It's funny because Walmart is a mass store, and those that carries a lot of people, but that's the only one that's working right now. And you can get pretty much everything from there. I'm not sure about Costco. I'm pretty sure it is because it's Walmart. Um, but any other small place is not considered safe enough, and it's weird because then you got this mass building with. But I guess the building consumes more free time of protecting people's privacy and space by the amount of square feet they have within the building. So yeah, it's like they're forcing us to stay inside, and sometimes we want to go out there and get something, but we're like, oh, we got to be careful and cover up our face and stuff. And it's like, I've already, I mean, it's weird because sometimes I think about if it's people, if it's like the whole entire um, media, the people that r- run the country or whatever. I feel like whoever it is, I feel like sometimes they, are planning this whole thing so we can all act accordingly. So I meant that. I'm not joking. I really did. I meant that. Um, so they're forcing us to stay inside, and I don't have any idea what I am going to do so far as employment because they're telling us to come back to work on the 16th. I mean, around the 17th, and they're still hiring people for other positions. So I'm thinking about, I mean, they're saying if you don't have to go back out there to work if you don't have to, if you don't want to. I'm like, okay, they're going to give me some money. Thank you. The government is just flooding out people's pockets right now with money. So this is the time for you to do the wise thing with it. And if you don't have to be out there in the streets, don't be out there. You don't have to be out there working and stuff like that. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want to be out there working at no fast food, at no warehouse, digging in no ground outside, in construction, sweeping the floor. I want to work from the computer. I want to make money from here because that is slavery to me. It's different jobs out there that's not considered slavery because you can actually take your time. But when you have certain people who don't know how to treat other people, they do not need to be um, in the position to inform you to do this, that, and the third. Because you can do good all by yourself. You don't need anyone managing you. As a matter of fact, you have a different. Some of you all have different type of skills that's able to manage your own um, environment. So you don't really need to go out there and be a slave and work. Open up a little store, find something that you're able to do that's very creative, and you know someone else would like it. It's your vision before anybody else's vision. So do what you can do on the internet and start yourself a business because it's now the time to start doing more things that you can do for yourself on the internet or wherever it is. It may not be on the internet. It could be um, you know making more money than people do on the internet, but just not on the internet. Some people got other things that they can do, but focus on doing something on technology based equipment. I mean, you come first with the um, hands on. Okay, that's all day, every day hands on. But try to do something with the computer so um, a mass amount of people can actually see you. Um, I would not want to do a lot. I would start off small first and um, get yourself a Facebook page and start from there. Get a Facebook page and create your profile and write whatever you want to write, but keep it at a minimum of information so people won't be thrown all over the place and you don't want your whole life on there. Some people can do really good about putting their whole life on there, but if you're not too much savvy about that, it's best for you to just create a Facebook account and start from there. You can start your own business from there and let people know what your business is about, or take a photo of something, of whatever you're trying to sell or whatever you're good at. You can record yourself, you can go live, you can introduce your whole entire page on Facebook, from video to writing to sharing pictures, posting pictures, and that's pretty much it. So try to do that. And because you guys, they're forcing us to stay inside, and they're calling for about another 30 days of this. And I want things to get back to normal, but really I kind of like this new everybody's hiding out type thing. Now my thing is, my condolences go for the people who are homeless and don't have anywhere to go, and they are really trying to do good things on their own, and they just need some help, and they're not a bad person. So my condolences go out for those who don't have a place to go to. I hope you find a place to go to and sleep where you are able to get some rest and not be in a germophobic area, or around people who aren't the best for you. That's what I'm pushing out. So my condolences go out to everyone who is literally out there, probably ran away from home, or got kicked out somewhere, or don't feel comfortable about where they are. You know, things happen to good people sometimes, but God will always find a way for you, because you know who to call on for help, and you have common sense, and you're very wise. You're just stuck in a situation. So my condolences go out for everyone that is really trying, because I have been there. So um, if you want to go out there and go to work, you can. It's not a big deal. Just be safe out there. You're safe regardless. So I don't understand why you need to worry. But do understand what the world is doing. Always outthink the world, um, or the way of the world for the people, so that you will be able to balance yourself at all times and not be too much of this and too much of that. Because different vibes occur in different situations, and you need to be adjusting it whenever you feel it's needed to be adjusted. Doesn't matter. Um, but yeah. um, so yeah, I mean, I wrote in my journals today again. I meant to spray to this right here. Maybe it takes some of that foggy look out of here. So I should have been did that. Um, I mean, all we can do is eat, listen to some music, have a good time on the internet. Everybody, this is like living in paradise right now. You could sit at home, and the government is saying they don't care. You can stay at home, do nothing. We're giving you guys, we're giving you guys checks. This is like a school, like we're in elementary school or something, and I feel good because we deserve this break. We deserve a time like this, and I do not want to be living in a time where we have to go to work every day and we're dealing with discrimination, racism, um, all type of uncomfortable things, favoritism, and just unfair treatment. We have to deal with that type of stuff all day at work, and we should not have to do that, because our health is more important. And not only is it more important, um, who wants to be um, missing hours of good sleep that their brain could actually use in their body? Because you can't perform a good job if your IQ level is down. Because the simplest things you can actually forget that is something major. But long story short, they're telling us that we can stay in. They're mailing us out some stimulus checks. They're giving us extra money on unemployment and food stamps. This has never ever happened like this. If it did, it was many years ago. But this is history in the making. And I do not like going out there to work unless I enjoy it. And a lot of places have really disappointed me because they wanted to act real thuggish, ghetto-ishes, or whatever you want to call it. Or sorry, unprofessional, and not give a good workers their credit when it was due. And when I mean credit, I'm talking about um, paying us little for us staying up on our feet for hours and basically a whole bunch of other stuff. Um, so I'm not really mad at the situation. I'm happy because we can actually, it's like we're living in heaven. They're telling us, you don't have to go to work, stay at home. Really? The landlord's not going to say anything? The water bill people aren't going to say anything? Oh, the water and light bill people aren't going to say anything, but um, everybody has a COVID-19 warning, and we're able to give you guys some incentives over top of you not paying us anything. That's like living in heaven. We're getting incentives for doing nothing, but the incentives are not just the incentives to do nothing. The incentives are something. It's something that we should have gotten many years ago. We are citizens. We have been. I can't really say we've been robbed from this. We've been robbed from that. If you want to go deeper than that, you can say that. But we really create our own life and our own reality based on what we think about ourselves and what we're able to do, what we're willing to do, what we actually do to put in effort into continuing the dream that we have for ourselves. The person we will be becoming in the future. That's the reason. Um, I don't know what else to say, but we are being stuck in the house, and I don't know what else. It's like they're forcing us to stay inside. So, going to get some food, you better hurry up. I guess wear a mask, go in and go out. For people who don't have a place to stay, for the people who don't have a car, they have to rely on always depending on someone else for that meantime. That's my reason why I'm telling you guys to why not just go buy a whole bunch of cheap food or get the food from the pantry if the church is open, which I doubt. See, now the church, you can't go to the church. So now it's like you have to be the church and know what to do. Yep, you got to be the church and you have to know what to do. And that is survival. Okay, you was doing that already before this pandemic. So if it's something that they're used to doing, then you shouldn't be panicking because that's the only time I can see you panic a little bit is you're not even thinking about filing unemployment and you want to work and you got to find another job and you're not filing unemployment, you got to work and you're scared to go out there. That's a different type. Or if you are um, filing unemployment, but it's still not enough to pay your rent, or you got a landlord that is working with you, and then you got a landlord that don't care about the pandemic and they want their money. That's a different type of way of feeling. Um, but everyone should be able to support you no matter what. Everyone's getting supported right now. Plus, you're getting the max benefit of the unemployment plus more. Okay, then some of you all have not even didn't even have food stamps, and you didn't create a sign up form. Some of you are trying to do it now. Can you do it now? I don't know. I don't know. Um, but that is a good thing. But no, try to go. I want I want you all to try to do something positive, something good, something really clever that you haven't thought of, something that you've always wanted to do inside of the house, or maybe you can save. That's the best time to save. But see, it's going to be kind of hard for some people because they have to um, deal with them overthinking about things, about buying stuff. That's making them lose a little bit more money than they planned on doing. That is the danger part. You don't want that. But it's not necessarily dangerous because if you know how to get it right back, then you know how to get that back. Um, so they're forcing us to stay inside. We can eat. We can go on a computer. We can check our emails. We can fix our resumes. We can make a cool dish to eat. Play a board game with someone. If you have children, you can play a board game. You can play your own video game if you want to. Um, some of y'all been doing that already, but just think of this as a time for getting all the money and just being at home. That has to be like the best gift of all. Um, but it sucks for people who don't have vehicles and they need to depend on someone else. Okay. But then again, it don't. Then again, it don't. Okay. It's all in how you feel. Okay, in the inside. If there's enough light inside of you to do something or to sus- sustain certain situations that were really dark that most wouldn't, then let it be like that. Let it be just like that. Um, so yeah, I'm on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. I don't really do. I'm not really on Instagram like that, but I'm always like logged in. Oh, my Alicia. Okay. Um, I just uploaded a Alicia Keys tribute. I had 94 subscribers, now I have 93 subscribers. I wonder who it was. I don't know who it was. I'm trying to share it. Wait a minute. Okay, so yeah, so I mean, it's a lot of cool things that you can do on the computer during this quarantine time because it's gonna be like this for the next 30 days, you guys. So I mean, whether you like it or not, you have to find some time for yourself to be with yourself and figure out what you're able to do for you because everyone else has to stay to themselves also. So this is the perfect time and perfect opportunity for you to enjoy spending time with yourself because there's so many things that you are capable of doing and now you're able to explore and exploit that part for good causes. It's going to benefit you and it's going to benefit other people and that's going to make them want to keep you. Then you'll be able to have a brand new you. So try to focus on that. And I'm gonna have to say there's a lot of other things that you can do also during the quarantine. Um, that's really funny. Um, hold on, checking my email. I mean, not email, my notifications. But yeah, let me see how long I've been on here. Oh, 39 minutes. Okay. Um, yep. So to try to find something to do, you guys, because it's pretty much like they're forcing us to stay at home. They're forcing us to stay at home. So get all your food, bring it in the house, store it, store the ones that are meant to be stored first. That the whatever item that you have that lasts a long time, you need to keep it in there and don't touch it. If you go back out or if you order something, make sure that it's for that moment. All the stuff that can last a long time, don't eat that now. They're calling for another 30 days of this. So it's like they know how long it's going to last, and then it's like they don't know how long it's going to last. Um, we're listening to them. So I would say just try my best and my hardest to get everything that you need and just play this survival mode game that's getting ready to be played. That's already playing right now. Try to get that, save everything that you need, and stop going in and out. They're already limiting us from getting certain amount of items at a time. So because then you have to worry about returns and all this stuff, and it's just crazy. It's already been touched by other people, and no one wants to keep dealing with that. But that's the reason why. Um, I mean, all we can do is sit back and do this bit by bit, but they want you to kind of do it. I mean, so at the end of the day, all you got to do is go online shopping and have it sent to your house. I mean, they're already trying to cancel, or excuse me, they've already canceled some of the workers who drive for certain like places to deliver stuff. So it's almost like they're going to have a break also sooner or later. I hope not. I hope that they just stop all of that and it's all over. Um, but then again, I kind of like just being in. Now, um, I was I'm at my mom's house, and she took me in for a while, and I just don't, I'm like, know what I would do if I did not come here, because I was in the middle of getting my own place, like literally, and I'm like, okay. Now there are jobs I can still work at, but I'm like, I'm not even going for that. Once I'm in, I'm in. I'm not about to sit there and go back and forth, back and forth. Now that I know that I can actually work during this, I will go back to work. Um, if I chose to. But they're giving us money to just stay at home. So why is that an issue? It's not. You're gonna be more safer. You barely feel like working out there with people who don't know how to treat other people. So why not go out there whenever it's necessary for you to get something to bring back in your house, and that's it. So we have to stay inside, you guys, and we have to figure out something to do, and it needs to be um, worth it because we can barely do anything outside right now anymore. So yeah. So just think about that. Y'all can do that. You can go outside if you want to. That's up to you. I can't make you. They can't make you. They're just telling you to keep your mask on your face and wash your hands and practice your self hygiene and eat the right foods. And you are the church. You don't need to be in a church to be saved and to get your spirit right. You can do it right there. But if your environment is messed up, then I can see. You know, I, my condolences go out for you all who are in those type of situations, and especially for the people who don't have anywhere to go. That is most definitely. So find something you guys can do, something that you're good at, and any good ideas, let me know in my comments if you have a special idea about um, staying at home that will make you some money, and something that's going to make you happiness while you're there. So, bye.